I think speedrunning, at its core, is the ultimate challenge in mechanical mastery. You spawn without a single item to your name in a world designed to slow you down. You have to treasure every action and weigh the implications of every split-second decision, as each moment drags you farther and farther from your goal. As you rapidly navigate your increasingly impossible proposition, you gain a new appreciation for the weight of your painstakingly cultivated skills and knowledge. Speedrunning teaches us that, no matter how impossible the challenge may initially appear, within us resides the power to surpass our limits and achieve something unthinkable. That one day, we'll look back at where we started and be amazed by how far we've come. So 9G recently released a video in which he speedran getting a beacon, so I wonder what else you could speedrun. So yeah, I'm ripping off not one but two YouTubers today. I'll link 9G's video and Technoplay's intro that I totally didn't rip off in the description, the end card and stuff. But anyways, the synopsis here is that I'll be racing to build a calculator in MCSR Ranked before an actual speedrunner can beat the game. That being said, to speedrun a calculator, we first have to find what a calculator actually is. Okay, so getting the easy stuff out of the way first, I'm a redstoner, so I don't mean we're gonna slap down a command block and call it a day. I mean like an actual redstone calculator. To be more specific, this redstone calculator that I threw together. I'll put more specifics about it in another video, but all that's really important right now is that it has two 2-digit inputs and can only perform addition, which in my books is pretty much the bare minimum for it to be called a calculator. With that out of the way, we can get to the real issue at hand. I have never speedrun Minecraft before. Actually, I don't think I've even beaten the Ender Dragon by myself before, primarily because I'm just dog water at the game. So to circumvent my massive skill issue, I decided to consult. Upon a mountaintop, I beseech the most magnanimous speedrunning sensei in all of the lands for, and God is a lie. Thankfully, since I'm not actually aiming to finish the game, I can avoid both the Ender Dragon and the Nether Fortress, which accounts for like 90% of the fighting I would normally have to do in a run. Unfortunately, I still have to go to the Nether to get Nether Quartz for redstone comparators, but I mean that should only take like a minute or two, which means I'll have a ridiculously fast Nether. The real issue comes with the redstone itself. I need 166, which, even while mining at the ideal Y height of -59, takes like 20 minutes to acquire, which will well and truly nullify any time I might have saved in the Nether. This means that even if I reach the Nether at about the same time as my opponent, I will likely only be starting the calculator as they are heading towards the fortress. I estimate I'll only have about 40 minutes to an hour total to pull this off, so the only way I can make this even remotely possible is with a... Okay, look, this is like literally 50% of the run, so leave me alone. Well, I'm feeling pretty good, so it's time for a real run. My first goal in this run is to, and he dipped. As I was saying, my first goal is to gather about a half stack of logs. I only need like 22 for the build itself, but having extra will be useful for tools and furnace fuel. I got very lucky with this run, spawning right next to a village, which all in all gave me more than enough iron for a flint and steel, a bucket, and 2 pickaxes. Henceforth, my plan was to search for food in a lava pool, but after seeing that my opponent had already gotten to the Nether, I decided to pick up the pace and start mining for redstone. Little did I expect to be immediately met with disaster. MCSR Ranked runs on version 1.16.1 of Minecraft, which, unlike version 1.21.4, which I had trained on, had a minimum world height of 0 instead of -64. This means I had no idea which height I should mine at, or if the drop rates would be nearly enough to meet quota. This meant that all I could do was pick a layer and cross my fingers. Okay, immersion break time. So I did actually stop at some point to like check the wiki because wow, the internet exists, and it turns out I was fine, but yeah, this did kind of throw me for a loop. Despite that initial shock, the deep depths soon brought me a welcome surprise. Lava! Armed with a trusty water bucket, I was now able to throw together a totally not oversized nether portal and snatch my 13 nether quartz. With a bit more mining afterwards, it was finally time to surface and build one of the calculators of all time. Going into this, I have a few jitters, but I'm able to get the build off the ground alright, and it's facing the wrong way, and he's at the fortress. At this point, I start panicking. If I misplace one single block, this whole build won't work, but if I don't pick up the pace, my opponent will most likely snatch away the last half hour of my life. As time slips through my fingers whilst terraforming away my mistakes, I start to wonder, is this even possible? Am I simply doomed to fail? Spoiler alert, no, I was fine. Also, he couldn't beat the dragon, so I won. Very deserved.
Silly boy!